I had a suggestion, and with the permission of the speakers, I wanted to open the floor because we had some great general advices on why change is important, how to manage change, some very creative and technical inputs on that. But I thought, as a lot of HR heads are here, a good takeaway would be if we could discuss some specifics also. So we would like to open the floor now to anybody who would like to discuss a specific change or an issue that they are trying, or initiative they are trying to introduce in their organization, and from our speakers could gain some insight as to how to take that forward. So anybody would like to take up to share any such initiative that they have in mind, thinking of putting in place, or they have already initiated and are wondering how to take it forward?
Yes. Normally when we talk about these defining our vision, mission, or making a cultural change, we want to involve employees a lot in defining all these changes. But it's not always possible to make employees open up on everything. So what's the right process for that? So that how do you bring a lot of confidence in them that, okay, let me get involved because ultimately it's going to do good to me as well as the organization.
Yes. Thank you very much, Prashant. This is a crucial question, actually, which you are facing every time you use new methods or you want people to open up. First, I would like to ask you, do you have any experience on that? What are you doing if you are in such a situation? How can you make people to open up? Because usually people are not used to it, they are shy, they don't know how it is received, what they are saying. That happens a lot. What are you doing? How do you get the trust?
Yes, by the interpersonal relationship.
Yes.
To create an atmosphere where the people of the organization can express themselves freely. During lunch hours, we create a system where we have a community lunch and everybody joins and expresses himself. And that's how slowly and gradually you develop a conducive atmosphere wherein people like to express themselves freely without any fear. So that is basically building an interpersonal relationship, and HR plays a very crucial role on that. And secondly, as Chandrima said, a lot of HR heads are there. I would like to put one point from my experience regarding the change management, that we have a lot of buyer compliances in which we need to set up a culture wherein the people participate as per the compliances. So that's a big challenge for us as an HR people. And we keep on constantly trying that thing on a daily basis.
Yes. Thank you very much for sharing. Yes, please. Please hand the microphone on.
Somewhat identical situation we were also facing in our organization. I remember some 4 years back, we introduced the concept of Rubaru. Rubaru in Arabic means face-to-face. So we created a platform, we provided opportunity, we fixed a program as well, that when it is going to happen, how many times a fortnight and how many times a week. But then this program of Rubaru means workers of any stature can have a direct interaction with the top management. Yes, of course, under a predefined program, predefined schedule. And I think my experience says that over the last almost 3.5 years, we have substantially gained, gaining confidence of the workers. They have slowly and gradually, and now, in principle, they have agreed to open up before us. I think that was a great move.
Wow, thank you for sharing. Yeah, well, thank you very much. Any more ideas, any more examples, best practices from your side? Yes, if I may add, maybe you also have to add something. It is really what you said. It's about trust. To overcome fear means to have trust. and maybe even be rewarded by saying something. So, those people who speak up, who contribute, who dare to think out of the box should be rewarded. They should get a promotion. They should be the ones who are the role models. So that others realize, yes, this is desirable. I also want to be like that. And not the other way around. If someone criticizes, next day he's gone or gets a harsh reaction. So it's about building a culture, a learning culture, a feedback culture, a culture of contributing. Yeah, it's to contribute is something everybody wants. We all want to contribute, and to make someone to feel that he or she is important for the company because he or she is listened to bonds that person, and you will get so many good ideas because those people who are down there on the floor or wherever doing the work, they know best. They have so many ideas, so you gain most out of them, and you have to show them that you gain so much, and that's the key, really. That's what your example show.
Sure. I think if I understand correctly, the question was, which sir has asked, in my opinion, is how do the employees buy the vision, mission, values of the company? How do they understand? How do they implement? How do they become a party to it? I think that's what the question. So this, whatever you are telling is very good. They are very good practices. See, it so happened in Bangalore, just I went to a HR person and they had put up the vision, mission and value statement. And there was one word there, integrity. These are the words which we use in values, integrity, customer centricity, or stakeholders, all that. So I told that HR person, sir, if you don't mistake, I want to do one small exercise. He told, okay, please go ahead. So some people are going to the canteen. I caught hold of 5 people. One, by his looks, I was able to make out he must be a manager. Other one was a little supervisor. About 2 were permanent. Of course, the temporary and casual, I left it out. One more person, I think he was QC. I don't know. I called one person, and I explained, do you know this? He says, yes, sir, it is there in all the walls. Okay. There is one word called integrity. What do you mean integrity? I asked him. So what we did was, whatever they told, we wrote it down. The manager told something, the QC person told something, workers told something, supervisor told something. None of them matched. I would have been happy if at least 2 matched. None of them matched. One person told integrity means do jobs with good quality. Something like that, I don't fully remember. And other person told integrity means you should be moralistic and ethical. Don't do any fraud like that. The third person told integrity means you maintain commitments. Fourth person told. So I told them, if you call this as a shared document, I expect 2 things to happen in the company. 1, every person should understand that with the same definition. Suppose if you ask the Newton's third law, I don't think any of us will give the definitions what we want. Newton's third law is known to us, if at all you know. In fact, if you write Newton's third law in a paper, even by putting a comma, you will not get marks. So first point is that how is that the same word 5 people have understood 5 different ways. Second point, now integrity in a shop floor, integrity in a finance department, integrity for a supervisor, how does he reflect it in the work? That is a second question. First question is the actual understanding of the meaning. Second question is, if a shop floor employee is called a person with integrity, what is the demonstrated behavior? If a finance guy is supposed to be a man of integrity, what is the demonstrated behavior? So every employee, in my opinion, should be made to do 2 things. 1, understand the definition of that values or mission statement in exactly the same way. First point. 2, be very clear how you will translate and demonstrate in your workplace, in your function. Be it QC, QA, production, MIS, whatever. Now, if this is not done, if I can use those words, that mission and vision and values will become monuments which are on the walls. They will not become the walking entities or living, values of the organization. So what we did was, to that organization, it has nearly 1,800 employees. For every employee, we conducted a program. Only 2 things we tell. We take that and explain every word there, except the verbs and nouns.
What does integrity mean? What does customer centricity mean? What does teamwork mean? Etc. And number two, for each person we told them, now you, like Madam told very rightly, you say for example something she had put, say basis, something, or recruitment. She told you, okay, what is that you want to do tomorrow on recruitment, for example. So we made it clear to them that what is the definition of integrity, and if you are in a shop floor, what integrity means. What is for a person who is in HR, what does integrity mean? Same definition should come. But integrity in HR may take a different form so far as the function is concerned. This needs to be done if you really want the entire organization to get aligned to that. In fact, I asked the top people themselves in one of the leadership, sir, can you please explain what is the difference between vision and mission? Or values and principles, for example. Or for example, policies and systems. Or systems and procedures. Efficiency and effectiveness. Image and reputation of a company. How many people can distinguish these two? For example. Empathy and sympathy to the employees. Interpersonal communication with intrapersonal communication. The difference between emotions and feelings. Is it interesting or I am boring you? So otherwise it becomes, okay, some consultant like me has prepared by discussing with the top people some thing. It is very easy to form a statement. You take 20 fellows, the mission vision statement, you just jumble up some words, your statement is ready. Cut and paste. But it has to be a living entity wherein the person understands in the same way. Like if you have to sing a national anthem, or if you have to tell what is the national cricket of India, all of you will tell only one. Your opinion on cricket is a different thing. For example, this is the first thing which you need to do. So what we did, all 1,800 employees, we trained them. Number two, not only that HR person is so proactive, any person who joins that company, he will undergo my module, then only he goes into the department. Are you getting me? So we ensured that people understand and people implement. I think that was the precise question what you was trying to tell me. What you told is also right. Definitely there are collaborative efforts by developing interpersonal relations or teamwork, or what we call it sunrise meetings some companies conduct in the mornings, town hall meetings they conduct, wherein the chief will come and explain the complete that month's happenings of the company, for example, where the entire people are there, irrespective of the cadre, and they can ask any question. It's a free for all. Their house magazines are available. So there has to be very concentrated efforts to ensure that the vision, mission, values and principles are disseminated and they are implemented. Then things will work. Like in one of the program, in a husband, I do a lot of husband-wife relationship. So I asked the husband, do you think you love your wife? He says, yes. Then I asked him, I took him aside and asked him, tell me one instance which demonstrates that you like your wife. He says, look sir, whenever she is dull or not happy or low, I am such a good husband that I will never go and bother her. Because when 2-3 days she will become all right. As it is, she is very dull, very sad. Why should I bother? Then that was outside. Then I asked the wife, do you think your husband likes you? He says, no sir, not much. Not very much wrong also. I took her and asked, you tell me one demonstrated behavior by which you say husband doesn't care or like you. She says, sir, whenever I am sad or low, this man never comes and talks to me. What is the concern he's having? That is the time when I want somebody to ask, okay, kya hai, that, this, she never understands. Both people's intentions are same, but the definitions of love is different. I hope none of us have got any bad intention in HR or anybody. Definitions has to be same. This is what you need to do. Understanding exactly same way. Like the Constitution of India. If there is a section, some section, it is clearly printed, that is one. Implement it so that it can be demonstrated. That is what is the purpose of HR. After all, what is the purpose of HR? To maintain that consistency, to maintain that alignment, to transcend the people. See? That's what is very much needed. I thought that is what precisely you are trying to ask me, of how do we involve the employees so that they become a party to the formation of, a party to the implementation, understanding of the vision, mission, values. Like how many of us understand what is the difference of values and principles, for example? Difficult.
I'll just interrupt here. Wanted to basically take up case studies. In case no one else would like to, I would be really tempted to put one initiative I recently got to know, and really wanted to know how that can be driven here, because this is an initiative that some organization is trying in Bangladesh and hasn't been implemented here. Maybe it has, maybe some of you can enlighten us. Is about introducing a zero defect production system, because zero defect, zero effect is what we have been talking about, but we see a lot of it moving, and because of that there's a lot of checkers and all that we need to put in a place. So a very simple thing that they did is to convince everybody not to pass on the defect. So whoever makes a defective piece, especially maybe it is more feasible in a bundle system, was encouraged not to pass on the defect, so that there is lesser need for a checker or anyone else beyond that. I thought that's a great idea, but I thought the biggest problem there would be, why would the person who is doing the defect acknowledge that? And would the owner or anybody in the whole HR system encourage it? Because it is, would anybody encourage a person making defects or not? So firstly, I would like to know if anyone has tried something like that, and take your views on whether that can be done here, because I think it's a good initiative otherwise. So, ma'am, your thoughts on?
It's open to everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, is the question clear? Otherwise, you need to reframe it.
So I'm talking about an initiative where they are trying to encourage that there is lesser defects by encouraging the line to see their products well at each level, each SMO operator onwards, and whoever can find a defect to acknowledge that defect and stop it there and not pass it on further to the line. So firstly, I wanted to know if anybody has tried that way out, and has that had a good impact. And if they have tried, there is a lot of HR issues involved in this. So have they faced any problem in that? Yes, it happens in bundling system largely. But if you think of it, it can happen in any system if you want. You are reducing a lot of waste in terms of human resource and otherwise if you do that.
The objective of the bundling system is to eliminate this kind of things.
So does it happen? Do you need a checker after that, or is it stopped at the production level itself?
Technically, no. But again, what happens is when the bundle goes on the line, it splits, and see, every bundle has got a number, right? So it gets mixed there.
No. So it can't get mixed. If a person has not sewed straight and doesn't pass it further, it will not get mixed. That's the point. At any level.
During the online assembly system, I have done an audit also. So supposedly there are, can you hear me now? Okay. So if it is size 12, size 14 and size 10, there are 3 bundles, right? So at times they get, and secondly, there is another thing why bundling is done and marking is put, because there are color variations also, like lot wise. So the components of the same lot has to go and sew in the one garment, right? So at times they also get mixed up. This is another thing which is
not possible.
No, why not? It happens. नहीं यार हुए. मैं और अक्षय कितनी बड़ी लाइन में गए हैं देखा है मैंने.
Anyway, I wanted to come to this question that if it does, can we encourage that? Is there any HR challenges in adopting?
Well, this is something to do with production, right? So this is something for the supervisors to ensure, and the loaders, because this is something which is in production. And Sukhbir, Procon chal raha hai abhi? There is one system Procon which is in 186, which has got a RFID track system. Yes, that can be tracked. That
Okay.
can
I
be
thought
checked.
it also involves a bit of a motivation.
Yeah, it does. There
In,
are lot of
acknowledging your defect and not passing
lot of
it on.
trainings which were inculcated. But again, as you said earlier, like see, the down the line, those people who are working on those machines, they are illiterate, right?
So if I may add here, I'm coming originally from the automotive industry, and that was a time when a lot of improvement occurred and a lot of efficiency. And one thing I would say Western automotive producers have learned at that time, like in Germany, Volkswagen and Mercedes and BMW have learned from the Japanese, is exactly the example you are giving, that at that time at least, each Japanese worker would be his own or her own controller. They took so much pride in quality that they were happy and proud to present a piece that does not fulfill the standards of their company. And at that time, the German car makers did not have those inner standards of quality. It changed a lot in Germany after that. So we learned, like the German car makers, we learned at that time from the Japanese because they took pride. It's about taking pride, and that's exactly the answer to your question. It's HR that makes people proud to produce quality.
Maybe because of that, Volkswagen stands better than Japanese cars.
And there is another thing, in automobile you can implement Kanban, right? And in garment trade, you cannot have Kanban. That is another challenge, right? So,
If I may add, in automotive industry, there are sometimes a whole year where one model is not the same model. Because the
again,
buyer can depict what he or she wants. Of course, each industry, you are very right, sir,
Yeah.
each industry has its own challenges, definitely.
yes, but
Definitely.
even if they have got different models rolling in, they will have a box. You know, one is for the Volkswagen, whatever, like XYZ. So they have 3 boxes for that, right? So anything goes out of that particular box and goes into that car only. So that's why I added on what I said.
It boils down to an HR issue, because if you don't build that self-pride, if you don't give those people a feeling of belonging, that you belong here, and this is a moment of pride for you, whatever you're producing, so indirectly or directly, it all becomes an HR issue. We cannot say that is on the production line, that's on stitching line. Ultimately, they're people. And people, handling people, coaching people, training people, hand-holding people is the HR department's job. So, end of it all, we cannot say it's a production manager's job. It is your job because you're the HR manager. If a production manager is not doing it, coach him. If the supervisor is not doing their job and coaching this, train him. So ultimately, if you do not get your people motivated and involved, and tell them this is their right, it's not going to go any further.
Thank you very much, Mr. Soni.
Thank you. If we don't have any further suggestions or comments, then then I would like request Madam Stogel to say a last few words. She, I think, has a comment. Yeah.
Just one sentence. I would like to know who of those who are here are ready for change and want to help their people to be ready for change. Please raise your hand. Wow,
Wow, that's
thank
a
you
clap
very
that
much.
we all should
That
be
is
together.
great. And of course, as we talked about rewards, we have a little reward for you, and you will find it outside. There is a book for you. Please take it. And there is a symbol for that book, which is a little mouse. You please take it too. It's a toy. And please leave your business cards. So whoever is taking a book, please leave us, if you want, your business cards. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Ogle. I think that's a very positive end. In fact, that's the story we have been hearing the whole day. It should be more incentive-based system that we'll put in place. Thanks, everybody. This ends the session, and after this, I think 4:45, we have again a session on the award ceremony.